a good fucking show. Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to rock? We got a damn good show for you today. A damn good show. A damn good show. A damn good show. All right. I'm going to start this off with a little bit of the Frugal Gourmet, and hopefully I don't get the yellow triangle of doom. And then we're going to compare Jake's State Fair lemonade with my State Fair lemonade. Oh, look, I got curb stomped by Dave Cooked What? I really have got to get a new intro. I had to go on Fiverr again. Honestly, when I first started my cooking show, I emulated this as much as I could. This intro, anyway. But as time went on, I just went with my own thing.
Hi, am I glad to see you? I have bread all over the place because today we're going to continue our series on entertaining, and we're going to do it with sandwiches. Now, I know that may sound a little bit strange to you, but sandwiches have been with us a long time, and they're wonderful things if you make them properly. Who invented the sandwich? No. I know you were going to say the Earl of Sandwich. He was not the dude. He did it in, let's see, in about 1750. John Montague, who was...
Look, I'm sorry, but somebody before 1750 in the course of human history, bread's about 5,000 fucking years old. Somebody put a piece of meat between two pieces of it.
The Earl of Sandwich was an inveterate gambler, and his chef couldn't get him away from the tables. So he brought him pieces of English bread, not my favorite, with a chunk of meat on it. I bet it was cold mutton.
Hello, everyone in the chat.
And thus the name sandwich. No. He didn't invent it at all. He's given...
The case against him is hairy. Because it was settled out of court. However, at the time, the two gentlemen were over the age of 18. So did he commit a crime or not? Look, I don't know. There's a lot of people that said when Jeff Smith was alive, they would meet him in an airport and he would always be accompanied by a young gentleman. I don't know what to believe on that. All I know is he was a big part of my childhood, so I guess fuck it, I'm going to believe the legend. If that makes any sense. you know, I'm not going to throw away his legacy and whatever just because he did what he did.
Credit for it, and he has
Kind of, you know, it. But again, Jackson was dealing with minors. As far as I know, it was okay. They were 18 years old. He's a much older man. I get it. But at the same point, 18-year-olds are allowed to make their own stupid decisions.
has the name, but let's think about the history of bread. Who invented bread? That's where the sandwich was invented. When you consider the fact that bread goes...
All I know is this guy was a big part of my childhood, so for big or ill, it's like people watching old reruns of The Cosby Show. For good or ill, Bill Cosby was a part of a lot of kids' childhood.
Goes back hundreds, thousands of years before.
Again, Roman Polanski had a film career after he raped a 14-year-old.
John's Earl of Sandwich. The oldest breads we have, let me show you. For instance, pocket bread in the old days was simply served, and you bake this on the desert, was simply served like this. You see, you break it in half, then you tear it into an angle, and everything was a sandwich. You see, you picked up, they didn't even use silverware. They ate everything. They ate their olives with a piece of bread. Now you're going to tell me this is English? It's not at all. And of course, in our time, you and I can take a piece of pocket bread, which you can find in any good supermarket, and put in a bit of...
Pee Wee Herman, in my opinion, did nothing wrong. This is my opinion. I want to be clear. Pee Wee Herman went to a porno theater and started, you know, little fireman action. He was in a theater that was for adults only. I don't see the problem. You're in a porno theater. What the fuck are you watching this for? It's cinematic glory? The only thing I would say to Pee Wee Herman or Paul Rubens is you did this in the late 80s. Have you heard of a fucking VCR?
of salami and a slice of Swiss cheese, perhaps. Oh, and...
that I didn't hear about. If that's true, well, then no, he's a piece of shit.
I have some salad here somewhere. Here we go.
But again, the only crime I ever heard him convicted of was yakking it in a adult theater. Oh, well then, if he is, then fuck him.
And I like to just
Glad he's fucking dead.
put the salad right in the sandwich. You see? There you go. That'll do the job. All right? You consider this one of the first sandwiches. Consider also that the Jews invented matzahs on the desert, and after all, the matzah sandwich, which is celebrated at High Holy Days during the Seder, and remember Rabbi Hillel said, put the charoses on top of the radish, on top of the sweet herb, and make another sandwich out of it. That goes back, 4,000 years? So don't give me this Earl of Sandwich trick.
I mean, I don't know. It's... You also have to remember, there are paintings of naked children hanging in every museum in the world. So, there is that.
Trip. Sorry, he's out of business. He's just out of business. Besides, I don't like to see him standing at that table gambling away his money when he should be sitting down with some nice soup or a good sandwich. So let's make some good ones. We have a pocket bread, which makes a colossal sandwich.
I mean, I can. I don't want to talk about Pee Wee Herman anymore. I want to get the fuck off the subject.
I don't have room to put all of these out. Well, let's go to China. There's an old bread. The northern Chinese, you see, have been making something that we call, silly name, but it's the Chinese pancake. These are beautiful. Peter Lowe's restaurant, just up the street from our studio, made these for me. I don't have the time to make them, but you roll them out double. See how thin they are? And look what you can do. You put in a bit of salami, They eat this kind of thing all the time, not with salami and Swiss cheese, for heaven's sakes, but with all kinds of beautiful meats. And you roll this up, meats and vegetables, and you eat it just like a burrito. You see? Did the Chinese invent the burrito? I think so. Don't tell my other friends. All right, so we have Chinese breads. That's an ancient sandwich. Then we have, of course, the Mexican tortilla. And you can do the same thing. I'm particularly fond, well, that's a sticky one. I put these in the steamer, and they don't want to come apart. There we are. That warms them up in a hurry, you see. I want to put some egg salad in this one and pack it in a lunchbox for one of my boys. Channing would just...
What the fuck? Why are you putting egg salad in a goddamn burrito?
kill for such a thing. He likes parsley on his, so we'll do it. And we'll roll this up and make a quick... Oh, there we are. Make a quick Mexican
Seal
sandwich.
the ends!
Mexican bread. That's great, unless, of course, you put a wet filling in it, and when you hold it up, everything runs out the bottom. Don't do that, all right? Those are all...
Well, you can if you seal the fucking other ends!
Those are all proper sandwiches. Then we can also go on to lefse, which is made in Norway. And Norwegian lefse, when I was a child, I used to call this Norwegian car...
You know, that is one thing I've always wanted to do, is recreate my grandma's lefse, but her recipes are insane to get through. She never wrote anything down. And her recipes are, well, you need, while she was alive, well, you need a couple of handfuls of this, a pinch of that, a punch of this, a boot of this. It's like, Grandma, these are not systems of measurement!
Cardboard. My mother used to bake it from scratch. Now I buy it in a box. But it's just hard as a rock. Well, not quite a rock, but it's like an old cracker, a matzah that's been forgotten about, you see. What you do is to moisten it. Do you have extra sinks in your kitchen so you can do this sort of thing? For heaven's sakes, don't live on with one sink. Have sinks at each end of the room. I have 2 in my kitchen and 2 here.
I've never bought in lefse that was like that.
My kitchen, meaning my home in Tacoma, so that we don't have to fight when we're trying to cook.
Oh, God. Lutefisk is, yes, from Norway. And lutefisk is a food sent from Satan himself. I do not know why there are people that still eat that godforsaken fucking dish. If you don't know what lutefisk is, it is literally cod that has been soaked in lye. I don't even know if it's fucking cooked. All I know is lye kills all the bacteria. By the way, they have to rinse the shit out of it, because lye, if it comes into contact with water, fucks up human skin. It smells like fucking 4-day-old camel diarrhea. It looks about as appetizing as a bowl of fucking elephant vomit. It's horrible. Why this is still a thing, I don't know. I am 50% Norwegian. And there is no amount of money. And even if I had a gun to my head, I might be seriously considering tell my family I love them versus eating a bite of that fucking shit. No, I do not know how I get why they did it in the Viking days, because you just had to have something to eat in the winter. But why the fuck that shit is still around now that we have modern refrigeration and grocery stores, I don't fucking know. Norway can go fuck itself then. No, I'm not being king of Norway. Plus, they'd hate me as king. I'd be like, alright, all this pansy shit is done. The other food that I fucking hate, that I can't eat. I will get sick on it. Like, literally, if I eat it, I will instantly want to throw up. I've never been able to choke it down. I've never been able to... is sauerkraut. And my other biggest ethnicity, I believe, is German. I hate sauerkraut. Who the fuck came up with sauerkraut? It tastes like dog shit. It literally tastes like somebody took a bunch of grass clippings, pissed on them, or stored them in a jar of piss for a week, and that's what we're eating. And I've had sauerkraut I had sauerkraut at a authentic German restaurant, freshly prepared, and I got about 3 bites into it, and I had to run for the bathroom. I can't eat it. It's just the reason I did it. It was a bratwurst challenge. It was a 3-foot long brat, and I asked ahead if I had to eat the sauerkraut. The girl on the phone told me no, I did not. So I was gonna do an even, well, at least for the challenge, a more dangerous gambit and have double potato croquettes. I get to the restaurant and they're like, no, to complete the challenge, you have to eat the sauerkraut. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. I couldn't eat it.
Moisten it on both sides, and then you put it under a wet towel. You see how this goes? Put it under a wet towel. And in very short time, cover it up with a wet towel again. In very short time, I have the bottom one here. The thing turns into something that you can actually roll. You see? This is lefse. My grandma Brun used to put butter and sugar. What else she put in it? Butter and sugar.
It was just butter and sugar. That's the way my grandma served lefse to me. My paternal grandmother. It was butter and sugar. She probably clogged my arteries, but fuck it, it was delicious.
Sugar and cinnamon. And then roll tons of butter. You know, she's Norse, you see? And then roll this up, and it makes a heavenly snack for Christmas morning. For me, that's Christmas morning. Lefse. But if you want to play around with meats and roll this up into a jelly roll with meats and cheese, look what you can do with a nice lefse sandwich board. These are, if you'll pardon the expression, Norwegian roll-ups. And you see what I've done here.
These are what's known in modern day as pinwheels.
To roll them up with Swiss cheese, and I don't know what I have in this one. Oh, Swiss cheese, salami, and some cucumber. You see the little cucumber sticks? And these make a marvelous snack. Put this on the board on your...
No, I've never been out of the United States of America. I'll probably change that at some point, but fuck it.
Big buffet, you see, with a little nice garnish, and you'd have a wonderful time with lefse, another old bread from the old world. So I repeat again, the Earl of Sandwich was really not in business when the old girls in the mountains of Norway were cooking this flat bread. Not at all. That's a nice one. Then we can go on to the artists. This is where I go out of business in terms of space. The real artists of sandwich in our time are Danes. I was in Denmark about a year ago, and I could not...
I'm sorry, but no. I know this was the 80s, but I'm sorry. New York, Chicago, Philly. Fuck it, man. The whole country had killer sandwiches.
I cannot believe the business people...
This is the only thing I never like, or at the time I didn't care about, but as I grew into adult, I always hated him. He always celebrated everything other than the U.S., which really should make the motherfucker a hero to the left.
Coming to the shops for...
And hell, even if it is true, then, well, then that means he's a map. He was just misunderstood in his time.
Lunch, and they bought sandwiches. They had no top on them, you see. Look at these. I've got 3 platters of them here for you. These Roquefort cheese, salami, caviar.
Favorite dish. You know what? Even though I've never done a video on it, tacos are always a favorite of mine. I always love making tacos, and that's what I'm thinking about making tomorrow. So I'm gonna go with tacos.
Aren't these wonderful? Or here's another platter. This one has lox. We have, what is that, herring, and this one is beef tartare with a raw egg in the center. And you buy these in the shop. They use a pancake turner to pick them up and put them on a little satchel for you, and away you go, and just eat and eat and eat. Let's see, where are they going to go? Well, who knows? I'll put them over here for a time, huh? And finally, here's another tray. One of my helpers is very fond of decorating beautifully, and he makes little horns and fills them with eggs. And this is the sort of thing you would see in the Danish markets. Aren't they gorgeous? Now, can you imagine the Earl of Sandwich standing around with a gambling? He has cards in one hand and a chunk of cold mutton on a piece of white bread in the other, and he's having fun. This, incidentally, is on Danish rye. The Rubschlager Bakery here in town, the Rubschlager Bakery here in town did this. And the bread, and it's just wonderful stuff. It has some body to it, you know? You eat something like this, and actually it's just a piece of support for the Danes. They heap everything on this. But it's wonderful bread. Good Danish rye. All right, now, let's go on to some legitimate sandwiches for our time that would be good on your buffet. I'm going to have to move a few things here. Ah, well. Isn't it fun? You know, when people come into your house, you want them to go, ah, not, ah. They've seen it all before. You don't want that. You want to do some different things. So I'm going to prepare for you today my favorite sandwich from New Orleans, and it's an oyster loaf. What you do is to, let's see, I'm getting everything hot here. Yes, got several things going at once, as usual. I want to cut up a small sandwich roll. This is exactly how they do it in New Orleans. And if they're really fussy, they'll rip out some of the white. But this bread is so fine. This is from a sourdough bakery. You can buy it in San Francisco. And you can buy it in Chicago, and it's called Baudin, and it's legit. I've eaten tons of this stuff in San Francisco, and I was wonderfully happy to find it here in Chicago. Or you can find a regular Italian roll and use that. Now, we're going to put some tartar sauce. It's right here. Let's put some tartar sauce on this. There we are, in the sandwich. And then we're going to put some oysters. And I've sauteed the oysters in olive oil. Why fiddle around with a paddle, for heaven's sakes? Olive oil, I breaded them in an egg wash. And an egg wash is just a couple of eggs with a bit of milk stirred in, about 2 eggs and probably a tablespoon of milk. And then you dip them in flour and white cornmeal, little salt and pepper, pan fry them in olive oil so that they're crunchy on the outside, and you have a wonderful gift to give to yourself or to your family. Then we need to put a tomato on this. Now this is strictly up for grabs, is whether or not you want a tomato on your oyster loaf. And you might want some lettuce. That's how I
Why would you put it? Fuck it.
have them at Felix's.
I wouldn't do a tomato because of all the acid, but I do lettuce.
Oyster Bar in New Orleans. Oh, Lord, if you're watching in New Orleans, bless your little hearts, all of you. That is the most wonderful eating city. There. This is an oyster loaf. Why do they call it a loaf? I don't know why they call it a loaf, but they do. And it's a...
Oh, God. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I remember watching this guy surrounded by my mom, dad, little sister. You know, we were all gathered around the fucking TV. Because remember, back in the 80s, every room in the house did not have a TV. These days, every room in the house, including the goddamn bathroom, has a fucking TV. Because TVs are dirt cheap.
Wonderful sandwich. Just colossal. There.
Oh, yeah. Baconators are worth trying for a fast food burger.
That's a favorite. Are you ready? Ready for what? Where do they go? Well, it doesn't matter. Then we can go on to another classic that belongs to the people of Philadelphia. And there's a bar just...
Oh, no. Cooking etiquette problem. Jeff Smith has his cuffs undone. Huge no-no. You either want to roll them up or you just want to wear short sleeve button shirts. Because you're running the risk of that cloth catching on fire and then you're fucked.
Near Independence Hall, the Society Bar, and here is their sandwich. She was very glad to give it to me, and I think you should enjoy it too. First of all, we're going to saute in a bit of olive oil. Remember, keep your pan hot first. Then you put the oil in the pan. Even if you have a good pan like this is covered with Silverstone. It's a very heavy French pan. It's cast iron and enamel on the outside, so it'll hold heat and you can do a lot of cooking at once. A thin aluminum pan, very thin pan, or a thin stainless steel pan will not hold enough heat and you can't cook this fast. What I want you to do is to throw very thin slices of chopped steak or sliced steak or sliced roast beef, you see. And I want it to cook right now. I don't want it to cook tomorrow. I don't want it to dry out on you. So there we are. That's plenty for a big sandwich, huh? And we'll saute that quickly as soon as we can find a wooden paddle here. There we go. It's just about done. I don't want to do too much to this. I can just hear you. Oh, Lord, look at the smoke in his kitchen. That's why you need a good fan in your kitchen. Don't ever buy one of these fans that recirculates the smoke through a little bitty cheap filter. It won't work because you're going to stand around and breathe that stuff. Even though you can't see the smoke, the oils remain in the air. So get a fan that blows outside. Very important. All right, that's enough. That's done. Now this pan is so heavy and works so well, it's not going to stop cooking. So you're going to say, well, it's still red. I want it a little rare. But now we'll prepare the sandwich itself. It's also going to go into a broiler. I'm going to use a big loaf.
Why is that steak going to go in the broiler? It's fucking done! Again, I hate to do this to a childhood hero. But that steak is fucking done!
But it's about this is about an 8-inch loaf of good Italian or French. This happens to be the sourdough I was telling you about. And this is going to be for more than one person, obviously. I'm just going to take out some of the center. Good Lord, don't throw that away. Save it and make heavenly breadcrumbs. And now onto our bottom loaf here, we're going to put the sauteed, they call it a steak sandwich, but you know, it's really just good roast beef. That's it. Oh, come on. Isn't that awful? Love it. I can just get it on. I don't think I'm going to get it all in there. Well, maybe so. There we are. Now we're set. We're all right. The old finger routine will have to help. We'll rearrange this so that we can get it on here. There. Now we're going to put some, can you imagine? We're going to put some pizza sauce on this. Is this the one I want? Yes.
What?
Pizza sauce or coarse chopped tomato sauce into which you put your own seasoning. But at the Society Bar, they use pizza sauce.
What
Not too much now. Be careful.
Is this?
Then we're going to put some provolone cheese, and that's a sliced. This is a sliced provolone, but that's an Italian smoked cheese. Isn't this wild? This is no snacky poo. You know, this is serious stuff. This goes under a broiler in your oven for well, for the time that it takes to melt the cheese down. That's what it does.
Well, then put the fucking other one in so it can toast up. Oh, God. Well, there comes a time when every boy has to face his hero in battle.
There it is. Whoops. Too close. We don't want to burn the top of the cheese, that's for sure. You know, the best laid plans... Oh, never mind. There. That'll be ready in just a minute. Then we're going to top that with some more...
It's going to be ready in less than a minute. You can't walk away from the broiling oven. You do, your shit's going to be burnt to fuck.
Sauteed onions. I have them ready to go here. We'll top that with some sauteed onions, and I'm going to chop some... Whoops, get the lid out of the way here. Chop up some jalapeno peppers. These are all on the menu at the Society as options. Jalapeno peppers are awfully hot.
You need to
and
get
I don't want you to put too many on and then die. I want the kids to enjoy this sandwich too, so I'm going to just put a couple on while that's melting. See how it's doing, huh? Ah, it's just about done. See, I had my broiler on, of course, ahead of time so that it's ready to fly. Yes. Oh. Oh. Oh.
I'd leave it in for a hair more, but again, it'd be 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, you know. I'd leave it in for 7 Mississippis.
You make several of these, put them on a buffet, you can feed a lot of people, and they'll just go crazy. Look at that. I tell you to look at it and I won't let you. Isn't that awful? Sorry. Here it is. Here it is. Onions, sautéed, right on the top. This is the optional stuff now, you see. After the basic cheese, pizza sauce, and beef, then you can choose anything you like. And I always choose onions. And then I choose jalapeno pepper. Oh, oh. I'm really going to come apart here. And the lid goes on thusly. How many is that to feed? Well, depends on how much you can take. There.
Probably 4.
And your normal order in this place would be a half of one of these. Though the bread isn't this heavy and rich and good. But look at that, will you? Look at that. It's just wonderful. All right. The famous Philadelphia steak sandwich. And if you have somebody in town who's selling these to you in a drive-in and says that they really have the legitimate steak sandwich, tell them you know the truth, because this is what it is. This is what it should be. All right, a Philly steak. And now we're off to the biggie. I keep telling you this is my favorite sandwich, and I'm not lying. It just depends on which one I had for dinner last night. But
all right, I'm going to move on from him. So we've got some new people. This is Quick Coronado Italian Baked Ziti. All right, let's get into this.
Welcome back. Another edition. It's your guy. I'm cooking again. Today we've got something special. It's going to be quick. It's hot out there, y'all. You know, it's the heat wave. I'm inside the house, okay? We're not going outside today. It's a midweek meal. We're going to try to make it quickly and expeditiously. Okay, Coach? We've got our ziti. We're making Corando sweet Italian sausage baked ziti. Okay, Coach? Using Corando full sausage. We're going to chop it up, get it together with some onion, get that together, put it in the pan.
All right, I'll wait to see what he does, but I just cut the sausage out of the casings.
And sauce it up. You know how we do, cooks. We're going to put it together simply, quickly, and efficiently. Sounded good, didn't it? Okay, cooks. But say what you got. We're going to have some fun. Say what you got. I'm cooking.
Oh, no. No, no! Oh, my God, he bought the fucking canned tomato sauce. He bought the fucking jarred spaghetti sauce. Oh, God in heaven. Oh, fuck my ass.
All right, cooks, here we are. Got our Corando sweet Italian sausage, pre-made. Now, you want to save time? Get the already ground sausage. You know, your boy was on sale. Had to get them. That's how I like them. Okay, cooks, take a sausage. Now, this might be even easier
I love baked ziti too, but I make my own sauce.
if you get it in the refrigerator for a little while. Excuse me. I said refrigerator, not refrigerator. Be proud of me, man. Okay, let's get these cut up.
What are
Get
you?
the casing
What,
off?
what-
You can. Sometimes I leave it on.
you don't need to.
Put it in the pan. 2 ways to do this. I'll show you my little style. Now, this is basically ground, so you don't have to do anything. So you can get this in your pan, okay? Pro tip, while you're doing this, let's preheat that. Okay, cooks? Sorry for reaching over you. We want 375, cooks. This is how we do midweek's meals. Okay? 375. All right? Get this together. I'll loosen it up a little bit. It's already seasoned up. Got a pan with a tablespoon of olive oil already going. Warm that up. So let's get that in there as well. Got that over here. See how we do the same time, cooks? It's called multitasking. Welcome to corporate. Welcome to corporate, cooks. We're multitasking. Same thing with this one.
You know, you could achieve the same effect by cutting one end of the sausage and squeezing the meat out.
Okay, Coach. So we'll take this. Get in there. Your hands are safe.
All right, I'm skipping ahead with him. How long are we on that? Okay, finally.
It's a little secret from me to you. Let's get up. Get water to a boil for our pasta. You know the deal. Let's get it.
That's not enough water.
A little regular salt. I say
That's not enough water.
Tablespoon. Teaspoon. However you feeling it.
That water should be up to damn near where the fucking goddamn handle is.
Okay, Cooks, we're gonna get this browned up, crumbled up, browned up. Sauce on there.
Let me see if he's low.
Onion, add a little bit of flavor. A little bit of onion, a little bit of flavor.
No, this is as loud as I can make it.
Got pasta in there. Like I said, all same time.
That's not enough water!
All same time. We're gonna do this thing together, Cooks. Quick, easy. Midweek meal. So you can do a baked ziti. Doesn't have to be a Sunday. Doesn't have to take all Sunday to get your baked ziti together. Okay, Cooks? Take a million ingredients. We're gonna get it together and we're gonna have some fun. Stay with your guy. I'm cooking. Okay, Cooks. We're back. Here we go. Chinese sauce coming along well. We'll add these onions. Just I said not too much.
What the hell are those things? Are they just sausages you didn't bother to remove from the casings?
Some people don't even like onions in the house. If you cut them up small enough when they caramelize, you really don't taste onion per se. Just lends to the flavor. Lends to the flavor. Like a bank. Get down there. Okay, cool? Get this over here. Put it in there. Try to do is get it on a nice up a little bit. Isolate it. That's all right. Look, man. Get your sausage not close to ready. Just not pink. Chop those up. Cut those into more slices. Stay with your guy. I'm cooking it. Like I said, Cooks, you want some of that casing on there. Some people like it all chunks. They don't want the ground Italian sausage feel. They want the whole Italian sausages. Remember I did what you do, cut it in half with a whole that casing on it. I cut this in half. This is already quartered. So if you cut it, the casing stays on no problem. And then you have true Italian sausage feel with the natural casing. Okay, Cooks, little tip for you. Stay with me.
Look, if you want to keep the casings on, that's fine. But that means you cook the Italian sausage first. Then you cut it up after it's done, and it kind of stays in those disc shapes. Otherwise, cut the fucking goddamn the casing off.
I'm cooking.
What the fuck are you doing?
All right, Cooks, here we are. Brown it up. Just wait for those last little chunks with it.
Oh my god, I have to pee, and I don't even have the fucking lesbians, I think. Oh wait, I mean you. No, I don't even have the goddamn lesbians, so I'll just be back.
Okay. Meantime, let's get our baked ziti in that boiling water with the salt. Okay, cooks? Whole box. Not too fast. I don't want that boiling water to pop up and scold. You get scolded. All right. All right. How you gonna? Cook these or to your box's instruction. Or if you have fresh pasta, you know what you're doing by that time anyway. Don't worry about it. All right, but what I'm gonna do is probably cook about 5 to 6 minutes because remember we're gonna go ahead, cooks.
Shit. I forgot to turn the fucking mic on. Whatever. I'm done. You know what? And this is where we'll end it. Marsha Adams.
Canning products.
Get through this.
Teapots deserves a closer look, don't you think? So let's go.
Oh god, it was the teapot collection part. This was made right after, I think, Disney's Aladdin.
And
Yeah, so there's the genie teapot.
what an astonishing collection. And doesn't she enjoy it? I suspect that collectors are never bored, for there is always the chance that something new or different or older is going to appear at the next shop or sale.
Oh, yes. I probably should do that. Yeah. Oh, wait, there's mine. And here's Jake. This is Jake making strawberry lemonade. Or State Fair lemonade.
Of sugar last time, I found it too sweet. You might think that's great. Between 2 cups and less of sugar, however much you... All right. Hello. All right, we've already started the lemonade because the first step in lemonade, and this is something I found out, I think from Chef John on Food Wishes. It wasn't because he was making lemonade. He was making something else, something recent. This smells amazing. So this is about a cup and a half of sugar. You can do it to taste. I tried 2 cups of sugar last time. I found it too sweet. You might think that's great. Between 2 cups and less of sugar, however much you think, you want to put in a gallon or so of water, and then a bag of limes. I'll show you how to do one of them. So I zested these limes, and the reason you zest...
You mean lemons? And you don't zest the lemon. You peel the lemon. There's a big fucking difference, Jake. This is why you stayed the fuck away from my video. 'Cause I showed you how to make it properly.
The lime is because the lemon has oils in the rind, and so I use my microplane and you just go around the edge.
You don't do that. You peel the lemon because the lemon peel has a way better chance of absorbing and standing up to the sugar. Again, Jake, do you want help from somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing?
And this is going right into our sugar. And what happens is the oil's inside the peel.
Like I said, Jake did my Dave Cooked What video. He's seen the state fair. He knows I've done it. He won't cover it. I guarantee you he won't cover it. I guarantee he didn't cover me the last video. Because he knows I made it better than him. And by the way, all Jake's fucking fans, why don't you ask him to address the video?
Too deep, so we just take a couple passes on it. You can see it, getting the yellow stuff, the good stuff. That's all the lemony, fragrant, like citrusy oil. I try to avoid.
You can't do it with zest, Jake. Zest is meant to be served raw.
Like, not yummy looking spots. I love lemons, dude. And you mix it up. You let the sugar and the lemon zest mingle, and then you will have more delicious lemony stuff. Because the stuff that makes it taste like lemon is in the peel. So now
you can't get that effect with zest. You can't get the effect with zest. I'm sorry.
What we need to do is juice. We have to juice. We're going to juice the acid and the juice of the lemons into the sugar first.
No!
Yeah, sure. Doink. More.
Why does Sarah not want to be shown on camera?
Better? Too far? That's probably good.
Why are you juicing the lemons now? You don't juice the fucking lemons now! And this is supposed to sit for hours! What are you doing?
Why'd you let her through here? She's just gonna stand under me. If I step on that cat, it's not my fault. She's already heading for my feet, dude. She's already heading for them. She loves to be under me. Anyway. Do lemons. I'm gonna cut these little knobs off, just so that it works better in the thing. You don't have to.
God.
The knobs, the lemon knobs. Also, we're making pizza. I already have the dough. We can make some dough.
So I know my next quest to make a better looking pizza than Jake. I guarantee I'll have something by the end of probably fucking November.
Together, if you want.
Because you're already fucking up the lemonade.
I'm just gonna do this all at once. It's better to like prep all your stuff ahead of time, and then do the next, like do all the squeezing at once.
No, all it proves to me, Iron Gullet, is I can beat Jake anytime, anywhere in a blind taste challenge.
It'll just be more efficient. So pizza dough is easy. Making pizza is not. It is something that I've made probably fucking, I don't know. We're closing in on a ridiculous number of pizzas, maybe 100, from hand. I'm not going to make a sauce because Sarah is going to eat some of this, and I don't feel like making this whole, this is the tomatoes I have. It's a whole can of sauce. I don't need that much sauce. I'm not going to eat sauce today. I'm just going to have some olive oil. on it, and it's super nice. So if you're not feeling tomatoey stuff, you can make a sauceless pizza. We're gonna do that today. But if you like sauce, we can make this with a little salt and stuff. But this is gonna be on here just to look pretty, I guess, and to show it's an option. We made this Plimbo. Well, I made this. Yeasty Plimbo. I'm gonna have to pour it out. We will make a pizza out of it. It should be fine.
To be completely honest, I've never heard of making a pizza out of a Plimbo. But, alright, whatever. I usually do, you know, flour with my dough.
We got our butcher shop. I guess it's just Hormel, but it's like bulk pepperoni. It should crisp up really nice. We got some mozz, a save money mozz.
Hey, at least you got block cheese.
That was at the shop, and we got some parm we'll use. We also have some strawberries, and that's what we're gonna use next, really, because we're gonna make strawberry lemonade. I think what I'm gonna do is keep this on top, just so I don't have to deal with the, well, fuck. I usually stick it down in there because it gets real juicy. Let's see if the mess is too much. I don't want the seeds in there, but it won't really matter. I just don't want them to accidentally, when we're near the end of this, clog up anything. So we're gonna stick this in there and just see if I can do this gently without losing too much. Just the first one, see what happens. Because usually it squirts all over the place because it's, you know, it's a citrus.
You don't have to be that gentle.
There we go. Yeah, it caught some seeds. Yeah, let's do that. Ooh, I didn't think about where I was going to throw these.
The garbage!
Let's throw them just on here for now. I'll just throw them right there. Doesn't matter. So anyway, we're going to squeeze lemons for a minute. Yeah, I should stick this down in there, I think. This is too slow. I don't want to be... I just want to smash these to smithereens. Alright, here's the thing. If you want to be finicky about seeds...
Again, before I completely bastardize Chef John's recipe, you're supposed to let your lemon peel and your sugar sit for at least 2 hours. I let mine sit 4. Then you get 5 cups of water and you boil that. Then you add the peels and the sugar, or whatever the sugar is turned into the goddamn boiling water. You turn off the heat, you stir it around, and you let the sugar dissolve. Takes about 5 minutes. Then you pour that motherfucker in a bowl through a strainer to get the lemon peels out. Then... and only then, after giving it another hour to come to room temperature, do you add fucking lemon juice? I don't know what the fuck this guy is doing, but unless there's an alternate reality Chef John, you did not follow his shit.
You can. Most of the time, what's going to happen is they're going to fall in this part, is what I found. You can just sort of like tap them out. I'm not going to fuck with it. I don't really care now. That's too fussy. It doesn't matter. We're going to smash them. We're going to smash them. This is lemonade. It should be easy. It's really passive. The seeds are going to fall to the bottom of this, and we're not going to be drinking them. I found this little this decanter thing at Target. Sarah and I were walking around. And it's fucking great. And I was like, ready to make lemonade, and I needed a vessel. And this is it. And it's been used for tons of lemonade. This is my 3rd batch of lemonade, and I think, you know, we're circling in on making pretty fucking delicious lemonade, dude.
Just remember, I can beat your hero any day of any week.
You can also do this with limes, oranges, whatever. You can make Aid out of all sorts of shit. You can make mango Aid if you want. Let me see that seed. Damn. Still trying to keep them from going in. Then we can just smash them. Ellie needed water. Wow. Can't believe it. So,
All right, but before I go, obviously he fucked it all up. Here's how you make a proper state lemonade. Okie dokie. On this special edition of Dave's Cooking Show, we have State Fair lemonade. And yes, before anyone says anything, I stole this entire recipe from Chef John over at foodwishes.com. Shout out to Chef John, foodwishes.com. I'll link his original video in the description of this video. But basically, you want to take 6 lemons and you want to peel the skins off the lemons. If your lemons are kind of waxy, feel free to run them under some warm to hot water. So 6 lemons, the peels, and let's move on to the next step. Okay, I've peeled the 6 lemons. Now I'm going to add a cup and a quarter of sugar. And then I'm basically going to cover the bowl and, after I kind of mix everything up, make sure everything's coated, then I'm going to cover the bowl, and then you want to let this rest for at least 2 hours till up to overnight. I personally went with 4 hours. And every so often, I would come out to the bowl and shake it around and get everything kind of recoated and moved around. So, for me, it was 4 hours. Just gonna do this with saran wrap. So, yeah, like I said, at least 2 up to overnight, but I did 4. Okay, and as you can see here, I've got 5 cups of water that started out cold. Now they're at the boil. And now we're going to add our sugar and lemon rind mix. And then you want to kill the heat. Give this a great big stir. And basically you just want to keep this in here until the sugar completely dissolves. It'll take about 5 minutes. Stir frequently during the 5 minutes. But we've got one last thing we got to do. Okay, and then through a strainer, separate the rinds from the liquid. And then you just want to leave this on your counter for it to cool down till it reaches room temperature. That truly is the golden nectar of the gods. Now, remember those 6 lemons that we peeled? Well, now you're going to cut each one of them in half and squeeze out the juice into this mix. This should be done again once the liquid has reached room temperature. I actually cheated a little bit because I kept my lemons in the fridge the entire time, so they were a little cold when I got out, so kind of made it a little easier if you want a tip. I would also recommend using that strainer again to catch any seeds from the lemon. Just because there's so many of them, you don't have time to dick around with the hand. Need another beer. And thing. Okay, and then once all the juice is in, just give it a stir. Make sure everything's mixed together. All right, one last thing.
All right, and then carefully pour this in a pitcher and leave in the fridge till thoroughly chilled. All right, got my glass filled with ice and gonna fill this up to the top. And that is a proper State Fair lemonade. Done.
And Jake didn't have a fucking thing to say about it. Alright, what the hell? One last thing. Baked ziti from a barbecue guy.
You know what I'm making? I'm getting ready to show you guys how to make a baked ziti. Now, come on in here and take a look at this right here. Look, these are my ingredients, and I'm gonna go ahead. I've already started, heating up my, I use a wok. You guys can use a regular, pan or whatever. But for me, I just put a little heat in this, and I'm gonna start. I'm not gonna put no oil or nothing like that, because look, this is that sweet, that sweet sausage, right? So it's gonna have enough. If I can get it out, we'll just put that in there. It'll come up to temp. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start browning that. Now, if you guys pay attention.
Oh my God, there's no sizzle when he puts it in.
Right here, I went ahead and preheated my oven to 350 degrees, right? It's working right now because I got some baguettes. I'm gonna make some type of, bread to go with it. I know everybody uses like a garlic bread, but I'm gonna do something a little different. We're gonna go with baguettes. Now you guys see, what I'm doing is I'm just breaking it up because I want to get maximum exposure on the bottom of the, the wok, right? Again, I'm using a wok, not a pan, but you guys do it however you want to. So you see it starting to brown up. This is cool. You know what I mean? We're gonna cook it down just a little bit further, right? But now, as this is going,
Again, if people would like to bring up to Jake that he never responded to my goddamn State Fair lemonade. I mean, in the last cooking video he did was a baked potato. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that?
I'm gonna add a little olive oil. Now, this is my infused olive oil made by Branch & Vine. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep with that whole little Italian, Italian theme with it. Now I'm gonna take my press. I'm getting ready to load it up. Now I'm gonna just go ahead and give it a, press. Look at that, folks. Minced garlic. We'll just get this in here.
By the way, if you want to mince fresh garlic, that's fine. But again, the jarred stuff in olive oil is fine.
To get some of that heat on it and start marrying its flavors along, right? Now I'm gonna go ahead and use my little.
No, it's because I can beat him. And that I'm a better cook than him.
Press here.
He's just not on my level.
Here to make it just a little bit smaller. So now I kind of like diced them down a certain size. I'm just making them just a little smaller.
Again, iron gullet. Jake has never once reproduced a single one of my recipes, nor has he improved on any of them. And I've got some easy over-the-plate shit.
All right, so look, now we get ready to go ahead, and get our pasta together, right?
So basically, that means he can't.
Right? Check it out. Ziti noodles, water's already hot. We just...
And yet, Jake has not reproduced anything. And I've done far more than casseroles and burger, you know that.
Add it. Let me go ahead and reach across, grab myself a, wooden spoon. Then what we do is we just move this across like this. I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. We're gonna let these.
Well, I'm debating him on Wednesday.
And cook these to the instructions that's on the box. We want these to be al dente. All right, so I want you guys to come in and take a look. I know I did it a little backwards this time because a lot of people see me do onions first. Then the last thing I add is my garlic, right? But I really want this to be real garlicky. You know what I mean? To have that without adding all of the different seasoning.
I've often said I'm not a pro chef, nor have I ever claimed to be, nor did I ever want to be. But mark this in your book. I'm better than Jake.
So having minced garlic works just fine, right? So now I want you guys to pay attention. Look right here. All of this, what I set aside right now, this is always getting ready to go in there, right? So I got it all right.
Yeah, this will be just between me and him. kind of going to be a new rule. Debates are just going to be a predetermined amount of people. Maybe on Sunday I'll do an open line thing, but no, the days of just everybody, no, that's over.
Right here, and don't forget the full ingredient list will be down in the description box below. Now, all you got to do is start adding everything now. Now that my tomatoes was in, now I'll come with my sauce.
Oh,
Listen,
no!
I don't want to fake like it is or nothing like that.
Oh, God, just grab a can of San Marzanos and blend them up. And also, really, ragu? I can't even eat that shit anymore. Like, seriously, I can't even eat that shit anymore.
Like that, you just want to add them. You know, everything that I showed you that was left, you just want to add it, right?
I think the last time I had jarred spaghetti sauce, I think I was at my brother's. And it was a chore to get through. It was way too sweet. It tasted like shit. You know, but my brother cooked it, and I was eating with his family, so I'm not gonna, you know, poo-poo it or anything. I'm gonna choke it down. But part of me just wanted to scream, bro, do you want me to show you how to make a proper fucking spaghetti sauce? It takes, literally, you gotta start your dish 10 minutes before you normally would.
I'm gonna go ahead and set my heat down here to a medium, because we want to get this back to, you know, boiling, so everything can start getting warm and start marinating itself, right? Marrying itself to each other. We add our water, our seasoning. Okay, so you see that right there? See, that's what I'm looking for, right? Now we're gonna add our bay leaves.
Okay, not for nothing. I appreciate the extra effort, but it's already fucked. You added ragu.
All right, I'm just gonna push them down like that and let them do their thing. Oh yeah. Next thing we do, we want to put a lid over the top, right? I'll put it over this way, because you can see where it'll vent. I'm gonna adjust this so that it'll stay at like a cool little simmer. We're gonna let this go for 30 minutes. Okay, so everything is coming right around, you know, to the...
You don't have to do this. You already added ragu. It's fucked. If you were doing something with a can of San Marzano tomatoes that you blended up, I would understand that.
To the witching hour, right? So listen, get myself some spray, non-stick spray, right? Go ahead and just spray this. You know, you don't want anything to stick, right? Trust me, folks, make your life a whole lot easier. All right, so now that we have that sprayed, let me go ahead, take this.
You know, I've never had that issue with a baked pasta dish. It's sticking. I've never needed to spray things. Normally desserts, I'll have to use that spray.
This off right here. Put this down. Now I'm just gonna give this a nice little stir. Loving what I'm seeing, right, folks? But listen, I'm gonna go ahead and take out.
Oh, thank God.
Bay leaves, right? Don't forget, we put 3 in there. We want to get 3 out. It's not the end of the world if you don't. You know what I mean? You just want it to release its flavors. Now, what you want to do is, you want to go ahead and just start, introducing your ziti, right? Now, this was 1 pound, so all of this got to go in there. Now, you guys kind of like figuring out why I used a wok, right? I just like the fact that when you use a wok, with the high side.
You know, not for nothing, but there's not enough sauce in there. If you're going to do a pasta bake, pasta will take the first 24 ounces of the pasta thing into it.
It makes it just a little bit more easier. If you guys use a pan, make sure you got enough.
Bay leaves are actually very good in pasta sauces. But I don't use 3. I use 1.
Room, for all your meat and all of your, your ziti pasta. Now we're still under a medium, like a medium low, flame.
Okay, what dish would I make? I got 60 seconds to decide. I got a can of tomatoes, 2 pounds of chicken, and 2 veggies of my choosing. And whatever is left outside of my fridge or freezer. Okay. canned tomatoes, 2 pounds of chicken, and 2 veggies. I am going to make white chicken chili. Everything else except for the chicken is out of the fridge, is stored outside of the fridge. And the tomatoes are perfectly acceptable in there. And it's chili, so throw whatever in there.
Right, you want to get it nice and hot, because when we started introducing, our cheese, you want to make sure that it melts properly.
Because Iron Gullet knows I'm right. Why hasn't Jake responded to my lemonade video? He knew it was there. And if you notice, Jake is getting worse and worse at responding to my criticism or criticizing me. I mean, he's been nitpicking for, I think, the last fucking year. Again, anywhere, anytime, I will happily take Jake on.
And if I hadn't said
And if it's over a baked ziti, I will take this guy on.
it already, listen, we want to save a little bit of that pasta water. That's the secret to getting everything to be creamy, folks.
Look, for a dish that you're just gonna serve on a plate, that looks fine. But if you're gonna put it to be baked, you need double the sauce. Sorry, bro.
So now look, this is what I do. This is fresh mozzarella, right? So I just take a little bit and just put some in here like that. Listen, it's gonna be, as you can see, it's just the way it breaks up, and when you put it in there like that.
All right. All right. This is where I'm gonna end this. Good night, everybody.